Hey, John, introduce yourself. So you've been investing for how long? Where are you based out of? What do you do?
I'm John Schaub. I'm from Sarasota, Florida. Been investing since the 70s, so a long time. I buy single-family houses that are in good areas and rent them long-term to tenants. So I have all long-term tenants.
Yeah. And you just recently had a tenant move out. How long were they there?
42 years.
That's wild. 42
Wow.
years.
Yeah,
That'll pay off a 30-year mortgage.
Twice. It had a 20-year mortgage, so pay off a 20
Well, there you
twice.
go. So the big question is, what's the role of debt with rentals? Do you believe debt or no debt? And has your opinion changed over the years? What do you think?
Well, when you first start, when I first started buying houses, all my houses had loans on them, because I was buying with leverage. I didn't have a lot of money to put down. But as time went on, some of those loans paid off. And I think the nice thing about being a house investor is you can have some paid off and some with loans. And if there's going to be inflation, which I really believe will probably always have some kind of inflation, then leverage is your friend. As you reach retirement age, if you're totally free and clear, you're probably going to get behind the power curve on the income and expenses, because expenses go up every day and they go up faster than income typically. So having some leverage helps you stay ahead, because if you have like 50% leverage, when the houses go up 10%, you're making 20% on your money. So I'd say some leverage is good, and you can look at different kinds of loans that you have, and get rid of the ones that aren't good. Get rid of the ones that have either higher interest rates or personal guarantees, and end up with the amount of leverage you want is secured by houses you want to keep for a very long time. If you ever refinance a house, make sure it's one you want to keep for 10 or 20 years, not that you're going to pay off in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I like that, because you mentioned the beauty of single-family houses versus, say, for example, an apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
You've got one big loan on an apartment complex versus if you had 5 houses, you could work with those individual loans.
Sure.
Instead of it being sometimes people have a blanket loan, but generally speaking, you have separate mortgages.
You typically do, yeah. And a blanket loan is a whole different discussion, but a blanket loan would give you a way to borrow money at cheaper interest rates typically.
Yeah.
When I deal with investors, I try to over collateralize. So if I was going to borrow $200,000 from an investor, I had a $200,000 house, I just wouldn't give them one house for collateral.
Yeah.
Might give them 2 or 3 houses for collateral.
To make them safer.
And that way they feel good about it. They're totally safe, and I get a better interest rate. And I can, all my loans are interest-only loans. That keeps my payments lower. And a private lender likes that idea, because if they give you $200,000, they know you always owe them $200,000. It's not getting chipped away, and they make an interest on the whole $200 every month. So it's better for both of us.
I like that, John. Appreciate you sharing your thoughts, because debt's a tricky subject, and a lot of the people are trying to figure out, should I just get all the debt I can get? Should I pay it off? I mean, I have some of these 2, 3, 4% interest loans, but and like myself as an estate builder, I'm trying to figure out when I arrive, does that include free and clear, or does that include leverage? What does that look like?
Well, I would say it will include free and clear, because that's when your cash flow really jumps up. If you have even a 20-year-old 2% loan, you still have payments on it. If your payment's $500 a month, when you finally pay that off, now you get $500 a month. So it's best to get some free and clear and some leverage, rather than the leverage spread over all your properties.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thanks for sharing your thoughts. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.